go to their mother, to their family. You use me and dump me.
Hi, you're in a relationship and suddenly your partner disappears, perhaps without a warning sign. No text message, no calls. Hey, you've been ghosted. Today we're going to be talking about ghosting in relationships. And we have our relationship expert here, Sister Mercy Chepaka. She's going to be doing justice to this topic. Before I bring her on set, if you're new to this station, ensure you do well to click our subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, and leave a comment to us telling us how we can be of help to you. This is Think Tank TV, and my name is Moses Waribo. Thank you so much, Sister Mercy, for joining us.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, thank you too. So we are talking about ghosting in relationships. And a lot of people will be wondering, what is ghosting? What are they talking about? Can we have an understanding of what we mean by ghosting in relationships?
Okay. Ghosting in relationship is something a lot of persons have experienced, but they never knew that's actually the word ghosting. Ghosting in relationship is a sudden disappearance by a partner from a relationship, an abrupt disappearance of a partner from a relationship without warning, without communication, without a pre-information most times. They just disappear from the relationship. Like you said, no text messages, no call, nothing. You just found out that you are alone in that relationship by yourself. You can't find your partner. It's not that the person traveled, but the person is not talking to you anymore. They are not they just went silent. They are giving you like the silent treatment. Just know you've been ghosted.
Wow. So can we start with you? Have you been ghosted before? Who are those people that normally do this ghosting thing?
Okay, if I've been ghosted before, I don't think I've been ghosted.
Really?
I don't think I've been ghosted.
Well, you have ghosted
I don't
somebody.
think I've been ghosted, but I think I have stopped communicating with some.
Okay, your own is now stopped communicating.
I think I've stopped communicated with somebody.
Yeah.
Yes, or some persons because of toxic behavioral attitudes. Yes, I wasn't going to explain that. I just knew I cut communication with them. So if I want to look at it from that angle, I'll say yes, I think I've ghosted.
So it means like all of us have been a victim.
Yes, at some point in time, everyone had carried out a form of ghosting. It's not a good thing, but persons have ghosted. The degrees of ghosting differs, varies. Whether depends on if the relationship is a relationship that is not an intimate relationship, if it's just a casual friendship, or if it's someone that is just talking to you and you notice that they have toxic behavior or toxic traits, and this is not something you want to address. You know, addressing them can even make the situation even more toxic or detrimental, or violence can take place. What happens? Those kind of relationships, sometimes you just want to exit them without a prior information to those persons. I think that I've done. But then there are also relationships where persons have been intimate with you, and this relationship have been going on for a long time, a considerable amount of time, and all of a sudden you've been invested in this relationship emotionally, physically, psychologically, mentally, and sometimes even sexually. You've slept with this person, which is another form of investment also, because you've shared your body fluids with another partner, and all of a sudden they just leave you without even letting you know. It can be very detrimental emotionally.
So, well, I would like to say, you see this ghosting thing. I've had experience of it.
Have you been?
But I'm concerned we're not be talking about myself today. But let our viewers know, right? What are the signs they should be checking out for to see if perhaps they are at the verge of being ghosted?
Okay, sometimes there are subtle signs a ghoster will give to you to become a ghostee. And sometimes you might not even have signs. They just disappear like that into thin air. But let's look at the signs. Some signs a ghoster will give to you will be, first of all, you find out that they are not communicating with you the way they used to before. Okay, proud to the time, proud to when they ghosted you, the communication was on point, everything was going fine, and all of a sudden, you notice they are not communicating very well. They are not picking your calls frequently. They are not giving you attention like they used to do. Their level of affection had diminished. Their level of care for you also is not that much. You start noticing what's happening in this relationship. You start to check those signs. But sometimes we don't come to ask those questions. We just let them be. But sometimes, even if you ask those questions to a ghoster, what he's going to do or what she is going to do is to try to divert it, because they know asking them those questions will start to reveal their plans of wanting to run away from the relationship or exit the relationship. So you also notice that they are not giving you answers to questions. They tend to turn it, or they tend to cover it up, or do reverse psychology with you, diverting techniques with you, and you're not taking cognizance of that. So these are some of the signs a ghoster will give to you before they actually go ghost. To start doing the major thing, you will now notice.
Okay, so I like to say, in as much as it's not so much advisable to go ghosting on people,
Yeah.
we should also know that perhaps sometimes there could be a reason why the person ghosted you, or why you want to ghost the person on the two sides, right?
Yeah.
So let's talk about the reasons why people would want to ghost their partners in
Okay.
relationships.
People ghost people because it's the easiest way to leave a relationship. Finally, it's the easiest way to leave a relationship.
To run, right?
To run away from a relationship. But the easiest way to run away from a relationship is just to go ghost on people. But then, in as much as we're talking about this, we want to say it's not the right method to follow when you want to exit a relationship. But that's the easiest. So people ghost people, one, because, for instance, you're in a relationship with someone, that relationship is not defined. You want to just go with the flow. You meet this guy or you meet this girl, you guys don't define what you're doing in that relationship. And as you start the relationship, let's say the guy is a chaser, this is somebody that wants to get a conquest and he sleeps with you. If his aim was to have sex, once you give him sex, what happens? He has gotten what he wanted. He's not about going further in that relationship, because he also knew he's in an undefined relationship with you. He knows what he wants. Let's say you, the woman, you never defined to know what you wanted. So what will a guy like that do? He will go ghost. And once he exits the relationship, you find that you're calling him after the sex is not picking, you're calling him after the sex is not returning your calls, you're talking to him, he's not there. And because he's not defined, you don't even know his family members, you're not even close to his friends, so nobody to even meet to ask questions, what happened? And in your quest of looking for closure, you start to become depressed and everything. Then on the other angle of it, some persons go ghost because they find out, like what I did, they find out that the relationship is a toxic one. What they wanted was not what they are seeing. Yeah. Let's say this person looked at you and felt, okay, you could be a potential partner for marriage, for instance. And when they got into this relationship with you, they find out that you're being toxic, you're being demanding, you have unrealistic expectations. They find out you're being violent, you're being abusive, and they know if they come to you to say they want to go ghost, they want to exit the relationship, you might become erratic. You've seen situations where a guy will tell a girl, okay, this relationship, I don't want you to go further. And the girl will be like, you're not leaving me. Oh. After everything, after I've invested, after emotional investment, psychological investment, after you've even after you finish sleeping with me.
You want to use me.
After you use me. After you finish using me, you want to dump me. No, you cannot leave that kind of relationship. That's for the girl. Sometimes it might also be the side of the guy. After I finished training you in school, did you not notice I paid your house rent, I did this and that, you want to leave me? That cannot be. So in situations like that, what happens? You can see a partner will be like, if I meet them to tell them it's over, I might have violent behaviors coming from them. So let me just go ghost. So they try to just run silently, they disappear. Is it easy for those set of persons? Sometimes no. This person also can be a good person. This woman can be good. This guy can be good. But maybe you find out that your genotype with this person's genotype is not the same. You know you cannot get married. Or sometimes you can have cultural differences where your family can have influence on you, which is not something a guy should do. Maybe then you cannot marry a girl from this place, you cannot marry a guy from that place. If you do it, I'm going to disown you or whatever. And you have these pressures, but this person is a good person to you. But because you cannot stand to face your family or to go ahead to marry someone, for instance, who has a genotype that is AS, if you're AS and you know you're going to have C class, what happened? You can't confront them. Maybe you know this guy is going to cry. This guy is going to,
you see that takes us back.
You just disappear.
That takes us back to the communication relationship we spoke about.
Good.
Because obviously, if there was a communication, it shouldn't get to that
stage. It shouldn't get to that stage.
Yeah, exactly.
Most times, the pains we have in ghost relationships is because of lack of communication. The defining of the relationship has to also do with what? Communication. So when you're not even talking about these things, you just want to, or you become so desperate, you want to enter into relationships. It might even be a toxic relationship. You just want to enter. What happens? These persons will leave you. They will just go ghost.
Okay, but let's look at it from this angle. Obviously, even in our phone and our gadgets, that's what we call upgrading of apps, right?
Yeah.
Now, as human beings and as people in a relationship, sometimes, like I said, the reasons why a person will want to ghost you is because of, could be your character.
Yes.
The person comes in, like you said, they come in and say that, this is not what I was expecting. And they feel that I shouldn't be here and they don't want to discuss that with you, they now ghost you. So the onus is laid on we individuals to see how to work on ourselves, because we cannot just be throwing all the blames on a ghoster or the ghostee.
No. We are not throwing the blame. The blame is not going specifically to the ghoster alone. See, in fact, when you're being ghosted, sometimes it's not just about the ghoster.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's about also the individual involved in the relationship. Like you're saying, this person might have a character that is not welcoming, a bad character. Nobody wants to marry someone with a bad character. But the totality of it all is that, is ghosting the best way to handle such issues in relationship? Should we advise people to go ghost?
It shouldn't be.
It shouldn't be. That is it. It shouldn't be.
That's why we talk about the communication.
Yes, it shouldn't be. We should be able. Ghosting is a form of subtle disrespect, especially if
subtle abuse.
Disrespect, subtle abuse, a form of emotional abuse. Is a form of, psychologists would call it a form of passive aggressive kind of cruelty. Nobody wants to just invest in a relationship or have an idea, a dream about a particular relationship, and that relationship is just like
becomes a mirage.
Yes, becomes a mirage. Like your dreams, everything is just crashed. Before you know, you can't find this person. And the worst is that they are not telling you the reason why they are leaving you. So that's the most painful thing. And what comes with it is that you start having anger issues, you become depressed. And if you're someone that already prior to this time have issues with rejection, abandonment issues, what happens? Or you have a codependency low self-esteem, and also a codependency kind of issues where you have this trauma from childhood where you cannot function individually on your own. You have to codepend on somebody to form this codependency kind of relationship, and you're with this person doing this, and this person just wants to exit your life. It can be damaging. It makes you have inferiority complex more if you've had it in the past. It makes you have problems with rejection. It makes you also have lack of trust for individuals. So even when a good person comes to you, you're like, hey, how can I love this person? This person might just go ghost on me. This person can just reject me. You tend to start treading carefully, even when a good person comes to you. So
it's obviously not the way forward.
It's not the way forward.
So you talked about defining a relationship, but I know about some people who complain that sometimes when you go to a lady talking to them, I want to get married to you from the first instance, they seem to run away. They seem to not appreciate that initial definition of a relationship. What do you have to say to such ladies?
Funny enough, some people don't even know themselves or know what they want in relationship. Period. Some people are just like we said in one of our previous episodes. Some people want to go into marriage to say I do. They don't know what they want to go and be doing in the marriage. So some people don't even know what they want in a relationship. How can you be definition of a relationship gives you direction. So when a girl says, I don't want you to define this relationship, where is she going to?
They can't just come to me like I've not even known you.
No, you've not known. How do do we get to know ourselves? The best relationships are relationships that are built on the grounds of friendship.
So it's defined from the beginning.
So defined from the beginning. Are we friends? If we are friends, then you do what friends do. You don't come and add sex into the friendship. That's taking it to another level. So when she's saying, no, don't define relationship, what does she want? What is she coming in? Is it sex she wants? Is it money she wants? Is it a business? Every relationship has to have
defined.
A purpose.
Exactly.
An aim. So a girl that is saying, no, let's not define it, let's just go. In fact, I don't know where that girl is coming from.
So Mercy, let's talk about what happens to a person who has been ghosted. What should the person do? What moves should the person do? Because obviously some people may be depressed, they may be worried, I've been ghosted, I don't know what next to do from here. What's your advice to such people?
Okay, if you have been ghosted before, or you're already
experiencing
being ghosted right now, the first thing you should do is to calm down and accept the fact that this had happened, that you are officially a ghostee.
Maybe we should give them a certificate of it.
No, seriously, you are a certified ghostee. So, yeah, a lot of persons have been there.
Yeah.
It's something that is very is rampant, it's predominant.
Yeah.
It's happening to a lot of persons, but they don't know that this is the name. If someone leaves you, leave your relationship without
incommunicado.
Yes, without communication, whatever, know that you are not officially a ghostie.
Yeah.
And the person is a ghoster. So if you're a ghostie right now, the first thing you should do is to accept the fact that you are a ghostie and you have been ghosted. Then you look within into asking yourself questions. Why did this happen? Now, it is at this point you see a lot of persons pursuing the person that ghosted them.
Rather than having a retrospect of yourself.
Yes. Now, whoever you're pursuing is already running. So the more you're pursuing them, what happens? The more they get to run. You look inward. You check your character. You check what you brought to the table. Now, two things you will find out. Stop looking for closure from where it might not come. Because the closure you have already, in as much as they've run away or whatever, the disrespect is your closure. Take it. It's a form of disrespect. It's not even okay. It's not even very okay with the person that left you. They might be passing through a lot of things too. So accept it that this had happened. Look within and start to work on you. If it is character-wise or something you know you've been doing wrong, or they've been giving you subtle signs that you have not taken cognizance of,
or complaints,
they've been talking about some certain things you've not been able to check. This is the time for you to check and start working on them. But if you know you're a good person and you know it's none of your making, like this person just ghosted you, accept it. Accept it and work on you and move on. Be ready to move on. Forgive yourself for accepting that relationship and move on. Like we say, sometimes it's because we just want to accept anything that comes our way. If you're a good person, check the kind of relationship that you went into. This person might be a toxic person. This person can be a narcissist. A narcissist, one of their weapons in their arsenal is silent treatment and ghosting. You don't want to marry someone that has such behavioral traits, like you get married to that person. You will not be communicating in the relationship. They will be leaving you and coming back. They will go off and on. So you want to also check that one very well. Mind the kind and give relationships time to grow. Don't just move a relationship from A to B.
So I think that should be at your final words. Talking about this question I asked you now, I'd like to add on a little, right?
Okay.
Talking about when you're being ghosted, I think our viewers should realize that this is not the best time to begin to go to review the pictures you guys snapped together.
Exactly.
This is not the time to begin to go back to the text messages,
so
the memories.
Stop.
Yes, to begin to do the wrong things of her, going through the memories,
visiting them, harassing them, knocking their door.
That's not the best.
Fighting them. Why did you leave me? Go to their mother, to their family.
You use me and dump me.
You use me and dump me. I spent you. I did this for you. You hold their throat. You say, in fact, we die here. We will kill each other.
Totally unnecessary.
Totally unnecessary.
Yeah. So at this point, you have to pick yourself up back.
Exactly.
Do your best to forget about everything that will bring that memory to you. And also do well to move on quickly.
If you can block them on social media to heal, you need healing. Block them on social media. Don't be stalking them. Do you know a lot of persons stalk their exes? This person had gone. You turn yourself to detective. You're checking their pictures, you're checking who they are celebrating. In fact, you're going close to their houses, you're looking at them, you start to you put your life on pause.
Making things worse.
Making things worse for you. So it's a time for you to really focus on you.
So final words and advice for people who are ghosted and people who are the ghostees, right? What was the final word for them? Because obviously, maybe sometimes it's character, sometimes it's. I met somebody some time ago that the first day is like all the problems in your family should be unleashed. That's enough reason for people to ghost you.
Exactly.
You begin to delete a person from the first time. You don't give it a room for communication to get to know yourselves.
As you meet them, you tell them, buy me this, buy me that. My mother is in the hospital. My father is here.
I heard from Pastor David. He said, even if you're dying on the first date, on the first day you meet a person, it's not the best time to begin to ask for anything. So I think that could be a reason.
A big reason. Exactly.
So the truth is, we need to check back ourselves,
our character,
review ourselves, and see that doesn't happen.
And also check the people we're entering into these relationships with. What do they want? If it's someone that wants sex, see, people's needs in a relationship will determine their longevity in that relationship. If this person is needing sex, once they get it, they will go. So if both of you have agreed that let us be friends with benefit, let's just be having a sexual relationship. When they leave you after the sex, you're not.
Don't be angry.
Don't be angry.
Just like we said the last time, that when you make decisions, you should be ready to get the consequences of
the decision. If this person wants longevity and you don't want longevity, you understand? You find that when they come and start putting, please come and meet my father, come and meet my mother, come and marry me, or when am I going to, you be like, this is not what I want. You might not tell them, but what do? You might just want to go ghost, because your aim and mission in the relationship is diverse, is different. Before then, we talk about those who post toxic traits, bad character. Your character is smelling, is thinking, want somebody to, and they know if they approach you, you're going to be very toxic. So they run away.
That's why we talked about singleness.
Yeah, so they run away.
I think we're time bound. So, Mercy, we'd like to put a stop to this show, and we'd like to commend you for the time you take to come on set to do this education to our people. We do not take it lightly. Our viewers have heard it. We believe you've learned a lot from what we've discussed here. Do well to join us next week, Friday, for another episode where we'll discuss insightful topics on relationship matters. If you're new to our session, kindly do well to hit the subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, do us a comment telling us how we can be of service to you. My name is Moses Waribo, and this is Think Tank TV. Thank you so much, Mercy.
Thank you. God bless you. Bye.